Well, the end of summer is almost here. I know that gives most of us kind of a bittersweet feeling, but there's plenty of excitement ahead, including a brand new theater season. Steve Schoenberg is here with some of his top picks that are opening in the coming months. Welcome back, Steve. It's always an exciting time of year. Yeah. Back to school, back to the theater.
That's
and
right.
A real classic, Oklahoma at St. Anne's Warehouse.
Yeah, it's the 75th anniversary of this classic Rodgers and Hammerstein musical. I love shows that sort of are reimagined for our time. So this is at St. Anne's Warehouse. It opens in late September, and it has the show happening all around you. So you get to see it from a different perspective. And what it does is very akin to, or very in line with our time right now, is it looks at the sentimentality that we have about, the past.
Sure.
Really seeing where the divides were happening even back then. So
even on that stage.
Politically relevant today, and we love shows immersive that happen all around.
Talk about political relevance. Gloria, a life, taking a look at the experience of Gloria Steinem's years.
I mean, one of the most powerful political and social activists of the last 50 years, and really of our country's history, right? So it looks at her life, starting out as a reporter, as a co-founder of Ms. Magazine, and what her inspirations, or who her inspirations were to become this powerhouse force, and then how she has inspired our world.
It has for years.
50 years.
50 years and still at it. Talking about female crusaders, Mother of the Maid.
Yeah.
This is interesting.
This is the life story of the mother of Joan of Arc.
Yeah.
She was a peasant, really dedicated to her work and her religion. And, it's great to see a story from a different perspective. You think of shows like Wicked, right, that told a different story of Elphaba. And then you think of shows like Testament of Mary, right, as well. And this one tells it about the mother who sees her daughter saying that she's hearing from God, but then leads a crusade to help France overcome the English, and ended up becoming canonized as a saint.
And how's it staged? I saw it's at the Public Theater.
Yeah, the public is always so innovative in the work that they do.
And so many productions start there and then come to Broadway as well. Hamilton, of course, is an example of that. There's a lot of talk about truth in journalism these days. So over at Studio 54, they've got a production called The Lifespan of a Fact. The title alone is it makes you think, especially given everything going on these days.
That's
The
right.
Lifespan of a Fact.
And directed by one of Broadway's best directors, Lee Silverman. This is based on John DeGatta's pretty autobiographical work about his essay, What Happens There, about a teen who commits suicide in Las Vegas. And it's the true story of his 7 years debating with his editor over what is truth versus accuracy. And you hit the nail on the head. We're living in a time where, for some reason, fact seems to be negotiable in the very kind of catchphrase of alternative facts. So it's a sort of analysis of that, and where is the line between truth and fiction?
Well, it kind of gets in that Orwellian debate. If you shout 2 + 2 is 5 enough, does it make it so?
Sounds awfully familiar.
So it's certainly top of mind. Okay, this is going to be fun. This is a big show. We got to get a big Broadway show here, big in so many levels. King Kong. Now they've tried to bring this to Broadway for a long time. The obvious challenge is, how do you work the star of the show onto a stage? And they've managed to do this through puppetry. That's
right. Innovation through puppetry and animatronics. I mean, it's a classic story. We've all seen the movie and movies, the subsequent sort of remakes of them. But what I think is important is it's really hard to wow people in person these days. We see so much on, you think of movies like Black Panther and other sort of like, Mission Impossible, the new one. We're so used to adrenaline coming at us. So in the theater, that can be difficult sometimes. But when bringing, say, a family to just be in awe in the theater, think of this giant King Kong. We've never really seen something like this on Broadway.
Do you think the story holds up today?
I think it's classic. Sometimes some stories don't need further analysis. We've just hit on 4 that are all about analyzing our time. It's also sometimes nice to just go to the theater, have fun, escape in something classic, and see something new in the theater these days.
And it's got to be, there's sort of that spectacle of it, so that'll be something to see.
Spectacle is, the best word.
Preview started in a couple of weeks of that. Steve Schoenberg, thank you very much. I know that as I said, always an exciting time when the new shows roll into town.
Yeah, it's great to be here and talk to you about it.
Appreciate your time. And the time is 9:57. And we'll send it over to Pat at the news desk.
All right, thank you, gentlemen. Always good to see you, Steve. Well, still ahead here on Today in New York, we're going to have a check of your top stories, including this.